The spring graduating class at Touro University. Among the class of 2017 was a young woman whose father was in the fight of his life.
Ashley Michelle Harrington.
Ashley's father, Dan, had just been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment, in his case, the precursor to Alzheimer's. He and his wife, Andrea, were in the audience, and the graduation speaker that day changed their lives.
What happens in Las Vegas at the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health benefits the rest of the world.
That's Larry Ruvo, the founder of the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health downtown. The Harringtons felt like Ruvo was speaking to them.
I was told that the world would never look at Las Vegas or Nevada as a destination for great medical care. But I knew I had to take a stand to help eradicate these terrible diseases.
I couldn't even believe it. I looked at him and I said, this is for you.
I mean, I was crying already before I even turned around or stood up or anything. But it was such a relief to know that there's a possibility that I don't have to be like this.
The Harringtons moved to Nevada, enrolled in clinical studies, and when the FDA approved lecanemab last year, Dan was the first in the valley to get the drug in a clinical setting. Change happened quickly.
And when he started the lecanemab, there's a difference in his demeanor. He's more calm. I noticed that right away.
Well, for me, it's like I'm clear. My mind's clear. I don't forget as much as I used to.
Doctors say there are side effects to lecanemab, as mild as dizziness and as concerning as brain swelling and bleeding. But Dan says he hasn't experienced any of those.
Don't give up. Don't give up, because it definitely helps.
How does lecanemab help? These are the brain scans of people who have Alzheimer's and were administered lecanemab in clinical trials. The red and orange is the amyloid plaque that builds up in a patient's brain, one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's. Each patient saw a reduction of the amyloid over a 2-year period, some more dramatic than others.
But from our standpoint, it's still very dramatic for all of them, because the actual fact that instead of amyloid consistently accumulating in the brain, which is what happens in Alzheimer's disease, we're seeing people with Alzheimer's disease, because of treatment with an anti-amyloid antibody, actually reversing that process and the amyloid leaving the brain rather than accumulating over time.
What I understand from lecanemab is that it halts the progression but doesn't turn back the disease. It seems I'm seeing here that it is being turned back, that the
Right.
plaque is reducing.
That's a great question. So the disease is not just the presence of plaque. It's the presence of plaque, it's presence of other abnormal proteins called neurofibrillary tangles, and also importantly, it's the presence of cognitive dysfunction and progressive decline in cognitive abilities. So this is another tool. It's not a cure, but it's another tool, a very important tool, because it's the first disease-modifying type of drug, the anti-amyloid antibodies, that actually have an effect on what's going on biologically in the brain, not just on symptoms.
The important thing is that you're buying these people time, perhaps until another treatment becomes available.
That is very important. Right now we're looking at treatments that will treat this other protein, the tau protein, looking at treatments that will help the brain to function better despite the fact that Alzheimer's disease is there. And so yes, we're giving people more time to perhaps participate in another trial, perhaps be able to take advantage of a new drug that comes out, but most importantly for us, it's more time that they're able to do the things that they're used to doing, to spend time with their loved ones, to continue to enjoy life as much as they wanted to in their older years.
Dr. Wint says the AHEAD study is happening now to determine if a heavier dosage of lecanemab might stop Alzheimer's in people who have not been diagnosed with it but have a family history of the disease. In the meantime, the Harringtons understand the uncertainty and promise ahead.
After the treatments, we'll see where he is, and we'll still see the doctors, and I don't know. And if we have more time together, make more memories, and that's the goal. We have hope.